Kind of goofy.
What's goofy?
You.
That was funny, Abraham. That was good. That was good.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
So we have an internal joke. Ramiro, every time he just likes to touch the button.
Since I don't have the headphone though, I forget which one's which. So I mean, I think this is the cheer or applause.
No. That's the music.
That's the music. Yeah.
Every episode, I say something and they're trying to kick me out. Every single episode I'm here.
Every single episode, Abraham walks out. Yeah,
All right.
that's a fact.
It's like a running.
All right, so let's start. And welcome to another Today Talk episode. And today's a very good day. I feel like very energized. I was low energy today, but I think I ate breakfast and now I'm like coming back up. So you know
What'd you have for breakfast, Ismail?
I had eggs.
Okay, that's
and then like
that's valid.
Okay.
That's
so-
valid. I like it.
I know that's pretty bland, but like
I had oatmeal, bro. It's like that's totally valid.
I know what I'm saying. I know. I feel like but yeah, today we have a very special guest with us today. So if you want to introduce yourself, my man.
I'm Trevor Toby. Met Abraham at Boys State, how I got involved here, but glad to be here today. Good to be talking to y'all. I'm going to Rice University to study economics.
Yes, sir. All right. But yeah, man, Trevor, tell us how that was, like getting into Rice, bro. Like it's a pretty hard school to get into, right? That's a Ivy League school.
Yeah.
How was that? How was that experience?
So the whole thing, like I applied everywhere. I applied to Harvard, Yale. Got rejected at basically every school I applied to except Rice.
Wow.
So if it wasn't Rice, it was Navarro Community College in my town. So I was glad I got into Rice, but moral of the story, apply to safety schools. But Rice, yeah, it was one thing I liked about Rice was that it was in Texas. It was a really good school. And I didn't apply to UT or Texas A&M, which
Okay.
I was thinking about it, but
What made you not want to apply to those?
it was the last day, and I didn't feel like filling out the application, to be honest.
Real.
with
That's
you.
valid.
Real.
That's valid.
So bad, bro.
That's why I did. That's why I never applied to A&M.
That's why I never applied to UT.
It's like it's just filling out the application is so like tedious, bro.
It's a
like,
lot.
Nobody
It's a
wants
lot.
to do it. Yeah.
Well, and all your teachers tell you, like, use the same essay, but
Yeah.
every one is a different essay, and it's
Yeah.
just like, it makes no sense.
Yeah. I feel that. But yeah, man. So you applied to Harvard, every school, right?
Everyone.
And how do you feel like you're getting all these emails and I'm like, bro, I'm not getting in. I'm not getting into any of them.
Yeah,
Well,
so-
how did that feel?
So it was crazy because Rice's like deadline where they put out the applications and told you if you got in or not was one of the later ones. So like it was like rejection. Vandy waitlisted me, which you know,
Yeah.
Waitlisting is like
still you don't-
Waitlisting's scary,
like
bro.
a no.
It's
still
like,
you don't feel good about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, once Rice accepted me, I was like, I waited for a little bit. I was like, maybe I'll get off the wait list at Vanderbilt. But then I was like, I would rather just stay in Texas and go to Rice. So
that makes so much
I'm really
sense.
looking forward to it. I got my college the other day. So they do like residential colleges. It's like Harry Potter almost.
Okay.
They just like sort you into different houses, and I got into one called Hanson College.
Oh,
I was gonna say like Gryffindor or whatever.
that's really interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and they all have their own flags, their own like self-governing. They
That's
have
crazy.
professors that stay with
I
them.
never knew.
That is crazy.
I never
Yeah.
knew that.
You know, we got a. What's the sport? Quidditch club at UT. Yeah, they play Quidditch, and they literally it's rugby. I saw the videos. It's rugby, but they literally have a broom between their legs, and they pretend that they're flying, but it's rugby. So I don't know.
The 3 rings.
They told me, hey, you want to
you're
join? I was
weird.
like, yeah.
No, I've heard of this in multiple colleges. This is a real
No,
thing.
they told me, hey, you want to join? I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, totally. Run as fast as you
So-
can.
Yeah, bro. I would not want to be playing with a broom.
They're gonna be like, oh yeah, I saw you playing Quidditch, bro. You got the broom in your legs and shit, bro. You tripped and everything, bro. I would probably switch schools if that happened. Okay, so you should keep that in mind. No,
Yeah.
bro, it's the only option left.
Oh, okay. Then my bad.
Okay.
You shouldn't. Yeah.
Don't doubt me.
Don't worry. UT has more than just Quidditch clubs. It's like
Do they though?
diverse. Yeah, of course.
They have powerlifting.
Possibly.
Bro, that's amazing. I do bodybuilding. I do a little powerlifting, but
Trevor, would you consider yourself a power lifter?
Absolutely not.
That's okay. Neither would I.
I'm more of a runner. I'll do some.
Oh, really?
Push-ups, some sit-ups.
That's valid.
Start hitting the weight room soon, though.
That's good.
That's
Just
fair.
college games.
Yeah.
Good.
Did you do track or cross country in school?
Well, I call myself a runner. Now I'm a runner today. Like going into my senior year though, like I had people come up to me and they're like, "You need to run cross country. You need to run cross country." And I played basketball 4 years in my high school. Time, and they're like, "You got to run cross country." I had my basketball coach telling me to run cross country, and I was like, "I really don't want to run every morning. I don't want to wake up like that."
That makes sense. Yeah.
And eventually I got talked into it. And like the coach made a deal with me. I was like, "You only got to come to this many meets." And I was like, I guess I'll do it. So I ended up running cross country this year.
Wow.
It was I hated it at the time.
Yeah.
But looking back, it was
fun.
It was worth it. Like I didn't have fun, but I made some good friends, got into it. It's good for my health. So
Yeah.
That's valid.
Now, playing basketball, how tall are you, man? Because you're tall.
You are, bro.
I'm 6'1". So
There's no way you're 6'1".
6'1", bro. Hey, I mean, you're like what?
You're like 6'2".
That's 6'2",
Bro, like if you think about it, the shoes, right? They have that
and then
name.
add
There you
it.
go.
So like I'm 5'8" and 3/4", but that's basically 5'9".
5'9".
And like 5'9", it's
an
a weird.
awkward-
It's a weird.
You have to
number.
round up to
So you got to
5'10".
go to even. It's a 5'10".
So I think Ramiro's actually 7 feet.
I'm basically yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
I think we have
it's
a whole
just like
basketball
there's
team.
like a thing where it's like an illusionary thing where like you can't like tell.
Oh,
You know, it's like
it's me.
oh never mind. Justin
Bro,
just
that's Abraham on a video, bro. That's
Wow.
insane.
Yeah, crazy. That never happens.
that's crazy.
Wow.
I actually try to be like, "Hey, man, can I be on the podcast here?" And they're like, "Yeah, the podcast got canceled today." So,
That's tough.
and then they upload the podcast like next
Abraham,
week.
are you throwing shade right now at Eastma? Is this happening right now?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much.
Hey, to be fair, you've been in more podcasts than Ramiro has at
That's
this point.
true. I'm not gonna lie. It's actually Trevor. I don't know if you know. It's been a while since
Yeah,
I've been in
really?
one.
It's been a
It's
while.
been a fat minute. I've not been in a Today Talk episode like
I'm
a
glad you're
long
back.
time. Right? What
very
better one to
special
be
episode.
Right.
than my boy Trevor? So it's all good. I don't know what that is because I can't hear it. If it's like a laugh track or if it's like a
No, that's a boo one.
cricket.
That's a
I
boo
can
one,
see
right?
That's not a big one.
No.
Bro, Trevor, back me up
It
here.
was.
okay.
It was.
Yeah. I'll live with it. I'll live with it.
What are we talking about? Yeah, basketball.
Track.
Sorry.
Basketball.
Basketball and cross country.
Sports.
Yeah,
Sports.
Rice. Are you trying to do basketball in Rice and everything? Good.
So yeah, I'll play intramurals, and I feel like
okay.
I'll have a good shot at Rice. I think.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably play basketball. Try out for volleyball. I'm not trying out for Quidditch, but
Ooh, volleyball, bro.
you know,
Hey, you know, some people like Quidditch.
I'm not hating on them.
Yeah,
All the Harry Potter
Just
fans.
say.
It's okay.
That's right.
Yeah. So, did you like what positions do you play in basketball?
Every one of them, honestly. Like,
Okay.
I was like more of a utility player. Like I started part of my junior year on varsity, and then senior year it was interesting. I was like the sixth man. I played a lot of minutes, but like I come in at post, and then I come in at wing, and I'd come in all these different places.
I feel you.
And so I would say my real position is probably small forward though. Just 'cause
Okay.
pretty versatile. Can do both.
Yeah. I feel you. That's nice. That's nice though.
Yeah.
Like the 6-man play. Like
Well, in basketball, y'all thought 6'1" is tall. Like when I
Yeah,
played
no,
basketball,
It's
yeah.
all
like-
comparative, dude.
But I don't know. I saw you, and maybe it's because of the shoes, bro. But I was like, that man's 6'4", bro. So
I literally walked through the door. I was like, huh?
I like to pride myself that I'm like almost 6'1" or like almost 6'1", you know.
Right.
But like I saw you, and I was like, damn, he's 6'1".
Maybe I've grown. I know. I don't know, man.
Might be possible.
I think
Might be
so.
possible.
I think so. Please just say you're
I'm
taller,
like
bro.
6'4", you know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Makes
what I'm
us
saying.
feel better.
Do a favor
go.
to all of us,
Yeah.
please. Yeah.
For sure.
But yeah, man, I remember back in junior high, I used to play basketball like a lot. And I was really bad, like really, really bad. I cannot score, I cannot dribble, I cannot do anything, but I really liked the sport. And I remember it was more of a pride thing because all my friends were doing basketball at the time.
Right.
And I was like, I'm pretty not like excellent at soccer.
Right.
So like I was mid at soccer,
Yeah.
but I was not one of the best. And everybody used to play soccer in Mexico. So I remember everybody started transitioning to basketball, and I was really bad, but I liked it. It was such a fun sport to play and everything. So.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Well, in my town we have they just recently built a park, And so we always go up there and play basketball, and it's like the competition level is all over the place because you'll have people that are really good.
Yeah.
It's like my park. You'll have people that are really good, and then you'll have like people that aren't so good. And at that point, it's just like it's chaos, but it's fun.
Wow. Yeah.
It's fun for everybody.
I feel you. But yeah, talking about Rice, right? What do you think? Is there any pride that comes with saying like, well, yeah, I actually got into
That's
Rice
true.
University.
That's true. It's a tough school to get into, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna be honest, not really. Like, I don't see it that way, but like other people, I think might. Like when I talk to people, oh, you're going to Rice. Like when I talk to people, oh, you're a smart guy. Like,
Right. Yeah.
a little bit. But like,
Maybe a little. If you say so. If you say so.
Coming into it, I did not see it.
You did not see it that way.
No.
So were you expecting to go into Harvard? What was your first choice?
That's a good
School.
question.
First choice was probably. Honestly, it's been between these two schools the whole time, Vanderbilt and Rice.
Okay.
And it's the two I got in. I knew Harvard and Yale and all that were reach schools. But I was like, I'll try anyway. But
Yeah. I mean, I applied to Harvard personally. They accepted me, and I was
see.
like,
He just was like,
You said no to Harvard.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
I got
I mean,
you.
come on.
I mean,
That's
yeah, honestly, like, Harvard was almost like emailing me daily, like begging me, like,
Like,
please
come on,
come to our
please,
school,
come.
like, please,
on.
we need you.
that's a flex.
And I was like, guys, I'm sorry, like, I just don't feel it, right now.
Understandable.
So I had to like take.
Gotta stay close to home.
Exactly. I was like, bro, I'm missing my family. I like Texas, right? And,
Right.
so. Say,
Totally
Ismail, what's Harvard's mascot?
Actually, they wanted me to be the new mascot.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes complete sense. You heard it here, folks. That's really.
Yeah, that's what happened.
For the record, I don't know what Harvard's mascot is. Like, I really don't.
I
Do
don't think they have a mascot.
I don't know.
Let me look it up.
Like at least Rice, you know it. Like I know it's an owl.
They
I didn't
have to have something.
I don't know. If Harvard.
I don't think they do, bro. That's the thing.
What's A&M's mascot?
It's a Reveille. It's the border collie.
It's a
Dog.
what?
It's a dog.
Oh, it's a dog?
Yeah.
It's an Aggie, no?
Yeah. No.
It's an Aggie?
Yeah, the species. No, it's literally it's like a
They're actually the farmers.
yeah.
Oh.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
So Harvard's University actually has a mascot. Give me a guess. What do you think it is?
Okay, Harvard. It's
Bill
gonna be.
Gates? No.
Let me wait. Don't say it. Let me think. Is it an animal or is it like a?
It's a human. It's a human.
Oh, that's
Whoa.
tough.
His name is John Harvard.
Oh, that's his name, bro.
Wait, is it the founder?
The Pilgrim.
That's lame.
Oh, that is so terrible.
Wait, so they're the Harvard Pilgrims? No way, they're the Harvard Pilgrims, bro.
Apparently,
Yeah.
Harvard Pilgrim.
I can't recount any really good
Yale?
Harvard football games.
I don't think Yale has a mascot.
Yelled Bulldogs.
Yale.
Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. I
What was
see.
the Vanderbilt one?
They're the Volunteers.
The what?
Wow.
Wait, no, they're not. No, they're not.
The
Volunteers.
Volunteers.
They're not the Volunteers. That's Tennessee. They're the. I don't know.
There you go.
Yeah,
Volunteers.
A&M's mascot is a
Reveille.
Reveille. Yeah, thank you.
It's a doggy.
It is a doggy.
It's a dog.
I know that UT's is a Longhorn, but
It's
his
a
name is.
Longhorn.
It starts with the B.
No, we have two mascots.
What is it?
There's a
There's
light
the
mascot.
one. Yeah, there's the one where like the suit thing, like the little.
Oh no, his
actual,
name
like,
is Hookem.
Hookem. But like there, you have like an actual like.
But we have an actual Longhorn.
which
It's
Bebo.
Bebo. It's Bebo.
that's what it is. That's what it
Bebo.
is. Yeah.
So it isn't Longhorn in like the college?
Yeah, they usually like.
It's like
I don't know if every game they do it, but they bring
like
out
football
the
games.
actual Longhorn to the games, and we all like, yeah, Bebo's here, we're gonna win. We don't.
Yeah.
But you know,
So you have a Longhorn in the field?
I don't know, man. I haven't been to a game yet,
Tough. Big O.
Yeah.
bro. And honestly,
Sorry.
I might not because I heard they're kind of trash. But you know,
it's okay.
you gotta support. You gotta support. You gotta support. You gotta
Games,
support.
right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to every game, but at least one game. You know,
Exactly. At least one.
Your football quality will be a lot higher than mine.
Yeah.
that's fair.
Does Rice really suck at football or what?
I mean, we have a football team,
Oh, okay.
but
You know.
Not one of the best.
we're in either American Conference or Conference USA.
Right.
But we're not like
Hey man.
those guys.
At the end of the day, it's the academics that counts. I
Amen.
mean,
There you go.
that's what it is, bro.
And I can go to A&M to see some football.
There you go. No, a lot of people do really choose colleges based off their football quality. That's just not smart. Like people are like,
Why?
oh.
I think that's the smartest choice you can make.
They're like, it's got a good football team.
I guess
Yeah.
if you're playing football.
You think about it, yeah, because
That's all.
the more money they put into the football program, the less money they put into the classes. So the classes are easier. So you graduate, you know. It's smart. It's smart. It's strategic. That's the way I see it, okay?
Wild.
Well,
Hey, bro, you see the door over there?
Bro, you see, I told you every single episode. Every single episode. Okay, fine.
All right. Okay. But yeah, did you ever think about playing football or playing any sport other than basketball?
Honestly, not really. Like when I was like a little kid, maybe I was like, I'm gonna go to the NBA. But that's just
bro.
like, totally.
Everybody wanted to go to the NBA. You know
After
that feeling?
like 6th grade, it was like it's over.
Yeah, you know that feeling whenever you're like playing on your like hoop like around your house, you know, like that neighborhood hoop, and you see cars passing by, and you like dream of like, oh, it's a scout watching me.
This is my origin story.
Yeah, bro.
I can't miss this layup.
Bro, I remember bro, I was not even that little, bro, anymore. Like I was like probably a freshman, and I was still like, bro, they're probably watching me. Like those cars are definitely scouting
fly, me. Can you take me?
And I have my headphones. I was looking, and I would like shoot a 3, and then I would miss, and I would be like,
there goes my career. I can't play for Harvard, John Harvard.
The Pilgrim.
That's always be their mascot.
What's up, man? But yeah, I actually had a question for Rice. Have you gone to your orientation yet? Like, have you like started yet? Like,
okay, yeah. So they do that interesting because I hear all my A&M friends and my Texas friends are like, "Oh, we had orientation because y'all do it like There's a day and
we have like for me, I have an NSC.
Fish camp,
yeah,
right?
and then we do have fish camp. Some you can choose to go or not.
Right.
But yeah, it's like a thing. Yeah.
So at Rice, I guess we're just different. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we do from August 14th to the 21st, and classes start on the 21st. Is all like an orientation week. It's called O week.
Gotcha.
I don't think that might be what it's saying. It might be orientation week. But anyways, during that time you make your schedule, you do all the stuff you would do during orientation. And they assign you like a group you're in, make some friends, and
that's awesome.
So it's an interesting setup. I don't know. I'll have to let y'all know how it goes.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's exciting, man. And you're going to be living on campus, or
I am. Yeah. I got my roommate actually on the 22nd. So.
Oh wow, there you go.
Oh, nice.
So you don't know who your roommate is?
I do now.
Oh, okay.
I got it like
July 22nd.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
there you go.
That would be crazy.
I thought August 22nd. You got like class.
Like, hey,
bro, nice to meet you,
dude. Mine, I'm not gonna lie, mine is random. Like, I don't actually know him personally.
You don't know him?
I don't know him personally. Like, I know his name. His name is Jeff. So
hey Jeff, if you're watching, shout out to Jeff.
I love you, man.
Amazing,
I really
man.
love you, bro. I don't even know you yet, but like,
yeah,
but no, I literally don't. But like, you can see like the profile, like, oh, what time they go to bed, what's blah, 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 you know, like the general stuff.
But also,
I was like, you know,
super good question, right? What happens if like you have your roommate and then you don't like him?
It's a possibility, but I mean, I flipped a coin.
I think you can
like,
you can change it.
I feel like it's
study in the library, like sleep in the dorm and don't ever go there again.
Right. No, I mean, I feel like most people are pretty chill. I feel like I
feel like it can't be that bad.
Yeah, it can't be. I'm sure.
Pretty agreeable.
I don't know, bro. Some people, I'm just.
No, I mean, it's possible.
No, I heard some horror stories when I was at UT. Yeah,
really?
It's messed up.
How bad?
I remember this girl. One of her roommates had her boyfriend. No, she asked her like even way before they even moved in. They're like, "Hey, can my boyfriend be here for a little bit?" And it's like, "Cool, yeah, sure." Dude ended up staying for like what, 2 months and shit.
Oh.
And then I don't know. She started asking like, "Hey, so my boyfriend is gonna be here for a little longer. Could you, go somewhere else tonight? I want to be with him."
So lame, bro. I would have been like, "Listen, it's cool, but like, I gotta sleep here." Bro.
Yeah.
Like,
so I don't know. She was trying to solve that, but yeah, it just shows you how some people can be kind of messed up. They don't have no respect and shit.
Wait, what were they trying to do? Like pray at night?
Yeah, definitely. Play Fortnite a little bit. Yeah,
that's exactly what they were trying.
Or like, why did she need to leave?
They were just trying to be.
I don't understand.
Huh?
I don't understand.
No, I don't know because, like I said, this is a story they told me like 2 months ago. I don't remember that shit very well.
It's a joke.
But
everyone's really like, "Well, no, you see, like, seriously,
bro. There's something. There's something people that love each other do sometimes. Yeah. I'll tell you later though. I don't want to like demonetize your video and shit.
Oh, okay, okay.
I got you later. Okay.
All right. Is it play Fortnite?
Yeah.
Or Minecraft, maybe they're into
maybe Minecraft. Sometimes Roblox if you're feeling like spicy.
Yeah. On a side note, though, Roblox is really bad. We're getting off track, bro. What are we talking about, bro? We started talking Rice is awesome, though. Like, bro, are you excited? You're excited, right? I mean, that's awesome.
I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to it.
And I'm assuming there's like a lot of things you can get involved in on campus and like different things. I don't know if there's something that like you're leaning toward. You talked about like intramural sports. I don't know if there's anything else that
I'm definitely going to do intramural sports. I'm definitely planning on getting involved in student government as well.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
I have a friend who's thinking about that for A&M.
And then, I don't know. I'll probably get involved in all kinds of stuff. I did debate in high school. I may do it in college. I don't know.
Yeah.
If they're not paying you, like, it's kind of a lot of time to commit for that.
It is.
Didn't you go to the nationals of debate or something?
I did. That was, I think it was July.
Right.
I don't know. I can't remember at this point. But it was down in Louisville, and we had our national debate thing. It was very cool.
Yeah.
It was very cool.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I remember I was talking to Abraham about like possible guests that we could have on the podcast. And he was like, yeah, man, I know this guy. His name is Trevor. Bro, hear me out. Next president of the United States, bro. No, like, hear me out. He's gonna be the president. He's gonna be the president, bro.
I could see the vibe.
Yeah.
I could see the vibe.
So is that something that you might be interested in? Like politics? Yeah?
The president of the United States of America. You heard it here. This is like the first.
This is the official announcement.
That's wild.
Remember, running for like...
Vote Trevor, man.
Wait, 2024.
2050.
It would have to be 2040.
2040.
2040. Because you have to be 35 at least. Yeah, you're right.
That's awesome.
2040.
Hey,
we got it.
We'll be here.
Yeah, you got 3 votes, man.
That'll be 3 votes.
Next podcast.
Yes.
Talking with the president at the White House. At the White House.
Next
we love
podcast at the White House. That's right.
Yeah. Well, imagine like you're running against a TikTok famous person or something like that, bro. That would be
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul.
I'll take on Jake Paul any day, guys.
Okay.
Did he go to Rice? Nah.
That's what I'm thinking. Wait, did he actually go to college? I don't know.
No. I don't know. Did Jake Paul go to college? I have no idea.
I don't know.
Maybe he did.
But yeah, politics and all of that, is that something you're looking for, like debate and, kind of like doing government side, like maybe lawyer?
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know if I'm going to go to law school after college or not.
Okay.
I guess it'll depend on if I get a job out of college. If I don't get a job out of college, I'm probably going to go to law school and become a lawyer. But I'm not totally sure. And I may end up working for a while, then going to law school. I'm trying not to get too far into debt.
Yeah.
But
that's insane. Like, I can definitely see you being president, though. Like, I didn't know what Abraham was talking about, but now that I meet you, it's like,
you should have seen it. You should have seen it at Boise. That was,
my God.
That was an odyssey, man. You wanna talk a little bit about that?
That was quite interesting. So, did he tell you all about Boise State?
No, I have no idea.
So, Boise State is it's a camp for rising juniors, obviously boys.
Whoa, wait.
And I know, no, shocking. They actually do have girls' state though.
Whoa, that's crazy.
But basically, it's a whole week, and it's supposed to it's really good on your resume for
college,
but also for like the academies, especially. Which was something I almost went to the Air Force Academy. That's a story.
Wow.
For in a little bit.
Yeah.
But, so it's something that's really good on your resume. Well, basically what it is, it's a week where you learn about government, but you do it totally through just doing it. So they give you all these positions, and they give you like these people you have to elect,
right?
And then you run the whole state government.
Oh,
and it's pretty interesting. Yeah. You have towns with because there's 1,000 guys there. It's crazy. It's chaos. And people are running, getting elected, giving speeches. It's amazing. It really is. We almost went back as counselors this year, but
there you go.
It's it was a cool experience. I actually ended up running for governor, right? And oh my goodness, so we run in the first thing is we get into our town, and he ends up in my town.
Yeah.
And
in the same town.
They're like, what are we gonna do here? Like, we just start talking. And he's like, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna run for governor.
I'm gonna do it.
And the town was like, no one was gonna no one said anything, and we were like, okay, well, I guess we're going for governor. Hopefully we'll have a town or someone from our town for governor. Is Hester City, right?
Hester City.
Hester City. Okay.
Hester City.
But we start running. And
do you have like to actually run your campaign?
This guy's my campaign manager.
Damn, bro.
That's legit, man.
So I'm guessing you did not make governor.
No. Well, so we get through the first primary, right?
Yeah.
We win it by, I don't know, we won the primary by a couple votes.
Yeah.
What sucks is that we were in the feds. There's two parties, the feds and the nationalists. They don't do Republicans and Democrats,
Right.
obviously,
Okay.
for obvious political reasons, because you make your own party's platform.
Got it.
Yes.
So it's not based on any real life ideological.
Right. It's all like simulated.
So it's whatever your
So you
ideals
can-
are.
Yeah, we
whatever.
run the government pretty much.
Right.
Like we.
That's cool, though.
So
in our
I could say,
personal-
I want to make it legal to have teddy bears.
Pretty
Yeah,
much
and stuff like
yeah,
that.
people presented like those kind of laws.
Yeah.
We actually legalized
Okay.
marijuana in our
There you
state.
go.
Okay.
So it's like it's our rules, it's our laws. We do it.
That's
Okay,
cool.
so-
though.
and it's basically you just name your own like branch of like
Well-
your idealism or
Well,
whatever.
you can't start your own party. I was
Okay.
I would have done that if I
Yeah.
could have. But there's the feds and the nationalists, and
The
you just get
nationalists,
thrown into one.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
But there's a platform committee who makes all the parties platform, right? And I was on the platform committee. I was on the state committee.
Yeah.
And then I was running for governor at the same time. So I was.
So that was a hell
I
of a
didn't.
week.
lot.
I literally I was in my room because this was virtual. Unfortunately,
It was virtual.
That sucked. But
And I was gonna say, is this like over the summer that you do this?
yeah.
Okay.
And so I was virtual, and at the same time, I was working for a campaign in real life. So a lot's going on here,
Yeah.
and I'm literally in my room doing this all day. We had Zoom calls going all the time.
Yeah.
And literally, my mom comes in my room, and she's like, "Are you gonna eat today?"
Like, no, mom, I'm running for governor, man. Boy, stay.
I'm busy here. But so anyways, we won the primary, and then it goes to a runoff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what sucked, right, was we
What, bro?
The memories, man.
Anticipation,
They're
here we go.
so mad, bro.
we make it to the runoff.
Okay.
Right.
So you're
And
running off against
another guy who got the second most votes.
Okay.
We
Who
got
was
the
it?
most
Who was
votes.
it? Was that Desmond?
That was Desmond.
Oh my god.
Freaking
We don't.
Desmond.
We don't. No.
No, he's
We're not
he's
Desmond.
cool. He's
Never mind.
chill.
Never mind. I love you.
We
Joe.
were Desmond haters when it happened.
That's fair.
We kept a
but
positive campaign though.
That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Of course.
no hate.
Now we love Desmond.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
he's our governor. So
Right.
he was in our party.
Okay.
But we do that. We go through. We had a debate, and I kind of sold the debate a little bit. Like
Okay.
normally I'm really good at it. I stayed up
Did
way
you
too
have
late the night
debates
before.
through Zoom or
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
And it was in front of like 400 people.
Everybody's watching. They're all muted, bro. It's just you and
Yeah, like
That's
400
interesting.
people.
This is so fascinating, bro. What the
that's
heck?
actually
It's
crazy.
crazy.
Where did you hear about this? Like, how do you sign up?
You get nominated by your teachers. I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's like that's so interesting.
So
It's actually really fascinating.
we do this debate. I totally sold the debate. Like I didn't do bad.
Right.
I didn't do good though. And my first speech was killer. That's why I think that was like our best moment in the campaign.
Yes.
That's how I won the primary.
Yeah.
And then we were running on the whole thing, like the American dream. We had a whole platform going.
Right.
Part of our issue was our minimum wage stance that we did.
Yeah.
Didn't line up with the party.
I get you.
And we were like, we could adjust it. And then we
Right.
were, no, we're sticking with it. But so we did, and we ended up losing by like, what was it, 2 votes?
5 votes.
5 votes.
Okay, so it wasn't. It was.
We lost
pretty
by 5
tight.
votes.
I mean,
So
it
out of
was like-
405 votes?
Yeah, it was like, what was
that's like that's
the election?
It was
like,
very close.
It was like 206 to 211. It was
Wow.
It was crazy.
Wow.
But then we ended up at that point we disbanded like the whole campaign.
Yeah.
Endorsed the other guys, start working for
Right.
him, but it sucked
Yeah,
at that
it
time.
sucked.
Now I look back at this like that was a great experience.
I think the biggest problem, obviously, you selling the debate kind of
Right.
like doesn't help, but I think just your campaign manager.
I know, dude.
That's the biggest. you
So
know,
true.
I feel that if you had invested, I think, more into a better campaign
Definitely.
manager,
Honestly.
there probably would have been better prospects for your
I mean,
campaign
hey,
overall.
who
Who was your campaign manager?
That is a good question. I am very curious.
Yeah.
You mentioned it would start with a Brody, What was that? Start with an A.
Some weird.
Whatever. He's probably an idiot.
Wait.
Doesn't even matter.
Hey yo.
No, we're just kidding. We're kidding.
We should have probably stay back home. Film some.
Hey man, you had to win one to get to the second one, right? So
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And actually, we did this whole. What do we do, man? We recruited pretty much people that wanted other positions, and we put them into our group.
Right. Yeah, you could tell them.
So it was like a ballot, right? So he was the governor. And we had, let's say, a lieutenant governor, and we had the attorney general, and we picked pretty much people that were like looking for a group to be elected with. And, you know, we got good candidates, really good candidates. Most of them got elected or they got really far. And we named it the Dream Team.
There you go.
Right?
They
Dream
adopted our
Team.
platform, and we all ran on the same thing.
That's awesome.
It's pretty. It was awesome.
I have a question though.
All right, give us 1 second, guys. The cameras are about to stop recording.
Oh yeah, they're gonna die. We're gonna revive them.
Right. All right, guys. You ready?
We're back.
We're back. Sorry about that. The camera, it's weird.
Yeah.
Weird thing. Taxes and stuff.
Taxes, government.
Taxes will get you.
I wanted to ask a question. So, like with this boys' state, right? Is it purely for fun, or like purely for like just the experience of it, or is there like some like extra benefit? Like, oh, if I win governor, does that have like some prestige attached to it, or is it just like more just for experience and a hands-on learning thing? Like, what is it?
So, a little bit of both.
Okay.
It's great experience, obviously. So, but you have boys' state. And you have Boys Nation.
Oh, what?
Oh my god.
Bro, we have the boys cinematic universe. This is crazy.
So
This is crazy.
I was on a thing to get to Boys Nation. There were 6 of us, I think.
Okay.
And they're nominated by your counselor.
Gotcha.
From your city.
Okay, boys.
And only one person from your city can get it, right?
Oh.
So I was
So there's 6 nominated, one goes to Nation.
Normally it's 2.
Okay.
This time it was 4, right? Timing just killed me on this. Like, I really think I could have made it. So they first you get picked. You got to get picked by your counselor, okay?
Right.
And then they do interviews. So it's the night.
Yeah.
We literally just lost the runoff
For governor.
And we were all devastated. It was terrible.
Yeah.
It was so sad.
For a little bit, and then we got over it.
Yeah.
But then that night, they're like, "Oh, you got nominated for Boys Nation. You got to do this interview." And I'm just like drained.
So it's the same day.
I blew the debate already.
Wow.
And then an hour later, they're like, "Oh, can you do this interview?"
So super quick question though. Summer is like 3 months, right?
Yeah.
Why does everything have to be that week or like that day?
It's a week-long program.
Okay.
Wow, so it's all packed. It's like
It is. It's like
one
boom,
thing.
boom, boom, boom. Like it's chaos.
That's cool though. That gives
So
context. Yeah.
So you blew the debate. You lose.
I lose.
You're like, it's you guys,
like,
whatever.
Oh man, it's been good. Giving concession speech, whatever.
Right.
Endorse the next governor from our party so that we can win the whole thing. And we ended up smoking them across the board. Like, just killed them.
It was a sweep, bro.
So your party at the end of the day won.
Yeah, we brought together our supporters and put them.
With that,
on
then you're
boards.
set, dude. Yeah.
Right. So, anyways, that night, and this interview is till this day the toughest interview I've ever had. And
wow,
I did an interview for the Air Force Academy to get a congressional nomination. You know, you got.
Oh yeah, I've heard a lot about this. Yeah.
So I did that. This was harder than that.
What?
And
what was it like, bro?
you have 6 guys, okay?
That's terrifying.
In a Zoom room. 6 adults, okay?
In a Zoom call.
They're all military people. Former military people.
But it's all through Zoom or?
It's all through Zoom.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm prepared. They don't tell me anything about this interview. They don't tell me how long it's going to be. I'm the last one on there.
Wow.
Nothing about it.
How late do you think it is?
It's like 10 o'clock.
Wow. Our time.
Yeah, our time. So I get in this Zoom room finally after all 5 of them before me had gone. And we had to fill out this form before about a policy that you would support on a national level. I think I said something like ranked choice voting.
Right.
Because I was going to try to do something like, if I go bipartisan, like they're not going to know what it is as much, and like I can defend it. So I did that. The first thing I get in there, like they're just like, so you did this, and they're like totally aggressive. Like, I did do this. They're like, so why do you support ranked choice voting? They just start like throwing stuff at like, bro. But isn't that a terrible idea? Because that's a terrible idea, right?
They said that, like they worded it like that, like
literally, like they are just like, like
they're trying to like push you, like they're trying to press you, like really.
They're like, so what happens when the bottom person gets elected in ranked choice voting? Isn't that unfair to democracy? And isn't our current system better than that in the status quo? Wow. How are you ever going to pass this on a national level? This would never pass. Like,
it's insane.
Grilling me.
Wow, that's scary.
And this is on a normal day, I would have been ready for it. That night, I was not ready for it. And then they put me on the spot. They're like, they asked me who one of our government people are. And I'm really good about knowing who our government is.
Yeah.
And I would have known it had we not just switched the entire government.
Exactly.
They asked me who the Secretary of State is.
Right.
And now I obviously know it's Antony Blinken, but
yeah, I knew that.
Obviously. I mean, it's been 2 years into this administration, but this was just when the switch from the Trump administration to the Biden administration was happening.
Gotcha.
And I knew that Mike Pompeo was the administration's Secretary of State under Trump.
Right.
I didn't know this new guy. Yeah. I didn't even know they had nominated a cabinet. Like I was not into. I was into this week. And it was summer.
It was just
like during the school year, I watch more news and I'm more into it. This time I wasn't. They asked me who the Secretary of State is. I'm like, I know this. I know the answer to this. Let me think. And then I was just like, yeah, I can't think of it right now. And so I think that hurt me too because they wanted you to know current events.
I get you.
But it was kind of funny because there was another guy, the other guy who didn't get it actually. He's in current events, and I think he didn't get it either. Like you know UIL current events.
Not really.
No.
Okay, well, it's like this event. I did it this year for some reason. My teacher just threw me into it. And I got third. I mean,
there you go.
I didn't move on. But anyways, so yeah, you just circle multiple choice about current events.
Okay.
Just try to guess them.
Right.
For me, I don't know a lot of current. Well,
so that guy, even with him, he didn't
know it. But hindsight, I feel like I could have done better. But,
that's fair.
You know, at that point, you're just like,
no, in the moment, it's
right.
It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
It was crazy though. It was amazing. I was kind of glad. It's kind of good that I lost too though, because like you learn more from a loss.
That's true. No,
and especially when it's not real.
Yeah, that's true. That's another. You know, your story kind of reminds me when I was at A&M. Well, not at A&M. Well, no, at A&M, I had this thing. It was a leadership initiative conference because I'm going to the Mays Business School, right?
Right.
And I attended this thing called an LINC, and it was I think in May, and it's a group of students that go to the Mays Business School, and it's like a 2-3 day like orientation into the Mays Business School. So it's really cool. You like meet a lot of people from different branches and majors, accounting, supply chain management, all these different things. And I think on the second day, you do a case competition. So you're actually presented with like a real life business problem, like it's a real thing. And then each group kind of is put into groups and they split off and they have to come up with like whatever ideas they have to fix this particular business problem. And at the end of the day, they all will go up and take turns presenting in front of like these A&M officials. And then whoever like had the best idea to combat the problem, they win and they can actually like use it in real life. Right. So it's kind of that idea, but doing that, it really does teach you to like think on the fly and like really answer questions that you don't know like what they're gonna ask, and it is nerve wracking.
Yeah, it is.
But it's a good skill, I think, for anybody.
Oh, for sure.
So
yeah, definitely.
I don't know, bro. That's insane. Like just like thinking of like that level of interview. I'm trying to think because like you're like if you go to a job interview, you're like nervous, and it's like it's already hard to do any type of interview where you're trying to do
an interview with one person. Yeah, it's okay, but six
people, ex like army,
all like attacking you, and
like,
and
like, why do you suck, dude?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
In the middle of the night, and like after this long day of trying to run for government,
I got
like,
ambushed.
Yeah, I'm just trying to like think and put myself in your shoes of like, wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, if you did not perform, I cannot even think where I would have like performed that, but. That's insane. Do you think you took that like kind of like the stress and okay, I did not perform as well. What did I do wrong? what can I do better next time?
Yeah, for sure. And like one of the things that I like was able to learn from that is firstly, you gotta take care of yourself while you're like stressed like that. Because I honestly, like, if I would have done that for another month, I probably would have lost like 40 pounds. But, no, it like firstly you gotta like take it step by step, slow down, and because it's going so fast paced at that point, you're just all over the place. But one of the good things too, I think, was it turned out better because of the way we lost. Like the way we lost, and we endorsed our party's candidate and then made sure that all our supporters got out and voted.
Right.
Like that changed the election totally, because we had a turnout in the the runoff election of about 400 something in our party. And it was like a 60 or 70% turnout, which is,
wow.
I mean, normally that's high, right? In real life, that's high, but in this, it's low because you're all going to this camp to do this.
Right.
If you're not going to,
so it's like, if you're not getting like almost vote, it's like,
what are you doing?
What is that other like percent doing?
And so come election time, we ended up having like 90 something percent. And that's why we won, is because turnout. Nice. So we learned about turnout, and it was also interesting. Like, speaking is not one of my, like, it wasn't one of my strengths. I mean, it was by the time I got to Boise State, but like in like 9th grade, like I didn't think I was going to do speech and debate or anything like that.
Right.
So it's really like being able to use those skills and use them on the fly and think on the fly. And that's a lot of what I learned in that week. And also putting together a team. That was one of my favorite parts.
That is an amazing skill to have.
It was so fun too, because made tons of friends, and we still talk till this day. So it's awesome.
Nice. Also, I heard that you did speech, right, or debate in school. Is there anything that they teach you of like debate? Like how can you debate? How do you run a debate? Like, is there any like techniques that you can teach the viewers on how to win a debate against a girl or something?
The viewers through some debate.
Like, what if I'm debating against my girl where to go eat for dinner, right? But I want to win.
What strategies can I use?
What strategies
to make my argument more?
So there's all kinds of different debate stuff. Like I did congressional debate, where you're basically you're in Congress.
Okay, so there's like specific
debating for a bill. There was another one I did where I had a partner, and we're debating. We did something about Taiwan this time. It was like it was about trade with Taiwan, but it's the main thing is just like when you're making an argument. What I've learned, if you're passionate about it and you act like you're right, then people will believe you're right.
That is true.
Like
that is true.
So you think more than being prepared for the argument is how confident you are in saying those things?
Yes. I mean, you want to be prepared for
obviously.
But yes, absolutely. If you can say something that sounds right, then absolutely. And if you act like it sounds right too, because that's another thing. I did extemp debate and extemp, which are you get 30 minutes to prepare something over this topic and you go speak for 7 minutes, or you debate for so many minutes. And that really teaches you to think on your feet, because you're not like, you can look up a little bit of stuff, but you spend like 10 to 15 minutes looking up stuff, and then you're memorizing it because you don't get a script. You don't get to read.
Wow, that's hard.
Yeah. So you're speaking.
It's pretty much making. You almost make things up like on the fly.
Well, that's what you do. Like,
I imagine they smell fear. Like you have to like really.
They do.
Don't be like timid. You just have to.
Like according to CNBC.
No, literally be confident, because that's the only thing people can believe.
But there's people that are really good at it too. I wasn't that great at it. I was good at Congress and public forum, which is the partner one.
Yeah, but it's crazy. Cool, I mean, it's like everything, bro. You fake it till you make it. Yeah. People see that you're confident in something, even if you're wrong, even if it's bad. I think they're gonna.
Trust. Yeah. They trust. I think that's a fact.
If they don't trust you, you're not going anywhere. Like
definitely.
Right.
True. Applications.
What's going on, bro?
PS4 notification. That's wild,
but what's going? Is it so being confident and being assertive with what you say? That I think that's a great like a thing. Like in any debate or any sort of argument, you want to obviously be confident in what you're saying.
Absolutely.
If you see a little bit of doubt, then you might be wrong, and then your whole speech gets.
If you don't believe what you're saying, no one else is going to believe it.
There you go.
1,000%. Is there any other techniques that they teach you in debate? Or
I mean, we learn all kinds of stuff, but none of it, that's not even something that I was taught. That's something that I figured out as you go, and you learn it through experience. Like, it's about confidence, and it's also like just when you're confident in yourself, you're also a better speaker because you are assertive with what you say.
I feel that.
Yeah. And this was all in your senior year of high school, or was this
I did debate all 4 years.
There you go. Okay,
but I was not very good until my junior year.
Yeah,
but I ended up making it to state and Congress and getting fourth.
Right.
And then we went to nationals 2 years in a row. So
and then Boys State was
in between this. So my junior summer was like the greatest summer of my life. I interned for a guy running for Congress. He won. Did that. And that was for the whole summer.
Yeah.
And then went to Boys State. And so I was that's when I got like very politically involved. And I was actually able to use the skills that I had been learning in school to like apply those in real life.
Right. And I think honestly that's great for your resume. I think going into college, like you can just point to all these things and your dedication to this particular thing.
Right.
It's really good.
Well, and that's when everybody is around my school, if you ask them, I'm known as Mr. President.
There you go. So
Mr. President.
Mr. President.
It makes sense now, honestly.
So I was the class president. I was the president of NHS.
There you go. Wow, that's impressive.
Class president of NHS.
Wow, you were class president and president. And what school did you go to? You went to what?
Midlothian. We had a class of 500 people.
Wow,
Yeah.
but
So it's a pretty big school.
That's still insane. President NHS, class president. That's wild.
And then I started my own organization, which I was the president of as well. But
and
this is all
for those of you who want to go to Rice,
this is all
take notes.
That's I actually created my own country in actually.
But that is really cool. That is really awesome.
That is very
Yeah,
Kudos,
that's
man.
insane, man.
Kudos.
That's insane.
yeah.
Hey, didn't you do something for a week in Washington D.C. with the Senate?
Yeah, that was a big.
Did you go to the
resume
Washington
builder.
D.C. trip? Or
So I wish it was in person. This was another one that was unfortunately online, but it was called the United States Senate Youth Program. They choose 2 from each state, and you have to be like a president of the class or some kind of student representative that's like, and it has to be upper level. You can't just be like the secretary or something.
or like the class treasurer or something like that.
No, you can't.
Oh, okay.
You could be like, I mean, if you're the top of the organization, they'll take you. But
if you're like treasurer,
no.
But what happens if you're the dream date or like in prom?
You know, it's funny. He's trying to make a joke, but the funny part is I was class historian, so you're like, so you're like dissing the treasurer.
Yeah, hey.
What is the treasurer?
Because no, it was Avery. I think Avery, right? Avery.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
We can't.
Never mind. Historian.
We can't.
I was
hate on
class
the
historian.
treasurer.
There's a big difference, bro.
Sorry.
Hate on the secretaries and treasurers. Okay, guys.
So, my bad. It's just Ramiro was historian.
He was.
I was in fact historian. At our school, Silas Austria was president.
Silas is such a cool guy.
Macy was secretary.
What was Jackson? BP?
He was VP. He was vice president. That is so crazy.
So so basically with this program, I met with Ted Cruz and John Cornyn.
Wow,
And then-
that's insane.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is pretty crazy.
And this is on the Washington trip.
This is to pick the two of the.
No.
Okay.
This
Like
was
when you
part
were
of the
there.
program.
Okay.
So the Zoom interviews, like I did like a whole bunch of interviews because it's a really competitive thing. So you throw in your application, and then they interview you, and then you're done, and then they interview you again, and then you're done. And I was really good I did really good in those interviews. So I feel like that's what got me there. But some interviews you're just off, and some you're not.
Bro, it also
worked
depends
out.
on the day and everything.
That's the
Because like
thing.
some days you can be on point
Yeah.
and for interviews, and some days.
And also on the other end, like maybe they're hungry and they don't want to talk, or like they're like tired because they've already had like
Right.
some number of interviews.
Just humans are like they're variable. 'Cause
That's the thing.
Yeah, so
And so
it depends on emotions.
I got there and I got through the last interview process, and what comes along with this is it's a $10,000 scholarship as well.
Wow.
And then they give you they gave me a whole bunch of stuff, and then you we met with Ted Cruz, John Cornyn. The other one was she was a girl named Krupali. She's from Austin.
Right.
But yeah, so we were like co-delegates for Texas, and we met with Cornyn, we met with Cruz, and then we there's this thing called Washington Week, which is like the main part of it, other than meeting with your senators, and we had a whole bunch of guest speakers. Like Cory Gardner was there; he's the former senator from Colorado. Mark Milley, the general. Normally they have the president, but Biden, like, he didn't do it.
Right.
Trump, I don't think, did it either the year before. So I think it was. I think part of it was that it was virtual.
Okay.
The issue, but we did have Jen Psaki though.
There you go.
She we got to talk to her and some of her.
Oh, that's the Secretary of the Press.
Yeah, she's the press secretary. So and then we also had, this is who we had. This was our keynote speaker, was Pete Buttigieg, who was
wild.
He was a presidential candidate. I don't know if y'all know that.
Yes.
But he's now the Secretary of Transportation. But, he spoke with us, and then the other big one was Anthony Kennedy. Yeah, Anthony Kennedy. He's the former Chief Justice.
There you go. That is really awesome.
That's insane. That's
it was it was a crazy experience. I never thought I was going to get picked for it either. That's the crazy thing, because my resume, like, I feel like it's good for where I'm at.
Yeah.
But like, I look at some other people's resumes and I'm like,
right? It makes you think, right? I mean, some people, man.
if it makes you feel better,
yeah, no, I
your resume compared to my resume is like, but yeah,
but it makes sense. I mean,
I actually have a podcast.
hey,
man, if you're going for film, bro, it's all good.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than not having anything, but
Pretty much.
I mean, at the same time, you've just like, you're already president like of half of the things.
No, but I appreciate you telling us that, because that gives great insight. That's really fascinating. So it's really awesome.
Is there any way you can tell us, how can people that are still in high school that are trying to get on all this stuff, how can they get into it? How can, if they're interested in politics, if they're interested in all of that, how can they kind of like go through that path and join all
I
these
would
things?
say, to get involved, you have to just do it. Like, don't think about it. Just go for it. I know a lot of people who are scared to run because they're going to lose.
That's true.
And like, the year I run, when I first got elected, I mean, I got lucky. I didn't have an opponent. And so then you come back and you have the incumbent advantage. But you have to lose to win sometimes. And like, people appreciate hard work and dedication, and losing is nothing to be embarrassed of. Like, I mean, to run is something that's big. Other people didn't do that. And so to get to that point even is important. Yeah. But also, just like, there's so many opportunities to get involved, but you have to take the initiative to seek them out as well. Because like, a lot of the organizations I joined by choice. I didn't join because they invited me. Like, I went into the organization, went to a meeting, got involved, met the sponsor, and then met a lot of people and got into it. But so you got to do it.
You have to seek.
You have to seek it. You got to do it. And
I feel that.
Just don't look back.
I guess that's the important part as well. Yeah,
that's awesome, though.
That's crazy.
I mean, yeah, man, that's insane. That's insane. The fact that you have the opportunity to do all of those things and then still go to Rice and then.
Well, it was crazy during high school, the amount of like work I was doing.
Oh, I imagine.
What class rank did you end up being?
No, I got third.
What? Yo,
that's insanity, bro.
Wow. So, that's crazy.
So that's like, there's got to be a word for that.
Hey, you remember when he said, some people think I'm smart? A little bit.
That's awesome,
Can you rewind to that moment?
God.
A little bit. I guess a little bit.
That's impressive.
That's
humble
very
too.
Impressive. Yeah, hard, humble.
No, seriously, man. That's actually insane.
That was
Trevor, president 2020.
Yes, sir.
2040.
He's got my vote, man.
But,
oh my gosh.
No, I knew the valedictorian and salutatorian.
Yeah.
They were good people. I was glad they got it. They focused a lot more on school than I did, because I was so involved that I was like having to.
I can't imagine like being president of all these things, still playing basketball, still trying to do cross country, all of that. Like, that's insane.
Basketball and cross country was probably, the sports take up so much
time.
Dude.
And we were practicing basketball the roughest part of the year was always basketball season. Not the roughest. It was actually my favorite part of the year, but the most consuming
Yeah.
and draining because, and especially the senior year, because I would be going to cross country in the morning at 5 a.m. and then I would go to school. Fourth period, we would do our basketball practice, the period practice. It wasn't the real thing.
Yeah.
And then after school, it was always from 4 to 6:30, you're doing basketball. And then at the same time, on weekends, I'm going to debate tournaments that take all day. And so, like, my time, I would be working from 6:30 to probably 12 or 1 in the morning. Like,
Wow.
every day. My sleep schedule was screwed up, like, so bad.
When did you sleep?
I didn't get much sleep. This summer, I've made up for it, though. Don't worry. I've caught up.
Fair.
You earned it, I would say.
I would say so too. I mean, that is crazy.
That's
I only did track my freshman and sophomore year, and I mean, it takes a lot, man. It does.
Yeah,
it really does.
Yeah, I mean, I remember back when I was in football, right? And it was like you have to wake up like I had to wake up like at 5 almost to get ready and be at school like at 6. It was like an hour earlier because you wanted to be there early, and we had like practice before school.
Right.
And it was like the period. It was first period as well, so you wanted to like get there early, like change whatever.
Right.
And some people would like be there at 5:30 and like stuff like that because their parents had to go to work, so they would just drop off like 5. Literally.
Well, that's how cross country was. We had to be there at 5:30, and he got mad at us if we didn't.
That's so insane though. Like waking up at 5 to get there at 5:30. No.
Honestly,
too.
I actually enjoyed waking up that early though, because like it makes you feel like you're doing something in your day. I feel like I'm wasting time if I wake up at late. Like this summer, I've been waking up at 12, and I feel terrible waking up.
You're like, man,
this is terrible. Like, I can't stand it.
Yeah. But I remember doing football, bro, and it was like it's taking up all of my day. Like I don't have time or energy to do anything else. Yeah. And you're doing all of these things even on the weekends. It's like
it's very inspiring.
Did you have any like time to like hang out with friends or like?
Yeah, I hung out with my friends.
Anything fun?
I hung out with them as much as I possibly could.
Yeah.
But yeah, and what was cool was like some of my best friends were senior year. Mm-hmm. And this is when I had all the political clout in the school.
Political clout.
So at this point, I'm making endorsements in elections, which is weird. Like no one does that, but I did it. I endorsed one of my good friends he was my vice president. He was the whole time he was my vice president from junior to senior. Well, no, he wasn't my sophomore year, but junior to senior year, he was my vice president, one of my best friends. Then from senior year on, I endorsed my twin brother for secretary and endorsed one of my other good friends for treasurer.
There you go.
And we won across the board.
I was going to say, bro, Trevor endorses you. It's over, bro.
It was all guys. And
that's why
we were all in the same friend group. It was hilarious.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
It's cool.
All right, well, let's take one more break because the cameras are about to stop recording, but we'll be right back in a second, guys. All right, guys, and we're back. Sorry about that. But, man, I just have a super quick question, right? Because especially this past, like, year, I think, I've been really focusing on my productivity. How productive can I be in my day? Because before, I'm not going to lie, I used to, like, play video games all day. And now that you're telling me all of these things that you did, I'm like, bro, I really wasted my life playing Fortnite, and like all of these things.
I hopped on the Fortnite trend for a while. Yeah. That was pandemic times were crazy.
I know, bro. I remember in the pandemic, I just used to play Fortnite with Yusuf, bro.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I started seeking, like, what can I do that is productive, that I feel like I'm doing something. And that's how the podcast started and all of that, right? But now this year especially is like, I've been really finding like a lot of my like productivity in fitness, right? Everyone can tell you this. I'm always at the gym, it's just awesome. I used to be like really fat, man, like really, really fat. I was like really depressed and all of this, and like through fitness and like through all of that, I started finding myself in all of this, and now I kind of like want to help people through the podcast and through fitness, right?
That's super cool.
Yeah, so that's kind of the goal. But now I'm like, dude, I'm trying this thing. It's called 75 Hard. Right. And it's like you have to work out twice a day, read 10 pages of a book at least, right?
Right.
Drink a gallon of water, take a progress picture, in a diet, no alcohol, all these things. So like super strict, right? Yeah. It's like basically living like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And still try to do the podcast and then try to do blogs and all of this stuff. And it's like I cannot find time and still have work, right? So it's like, what advice do you have for anybody who's trying to be productive and be as productive as possible? What advice do you have to be productive? What works for you?
So some people keep like schedules like every 15 minutes. I don't do that. What I would say is no matter what day it is, do something productive every day, firstly.
Okay.
Because
even on weekdays, weekends.
Every single day, do at least one thing that you think will make you better, right? And also, like, if you have all these conflicting time management things, one of the things you got to learn, and this is something that honestly I struggled with for a while, is making sure that you know how to delegate. Because with me, I had a lot of people working around me, like that are, and this isn't really making yourself better, but this is making, when you're in a position of leadership, making your organization better.
Yeah.
You have to be able to delegate to people and trust people around you in order to maximize your time and your productivity to make yourself better. And so that's part of it. I would also say, like, just always being there, always being consistent and just going over and over and over again. Because it does get easier. Like it really does.
Yeah.
Like after it becomes habit, it just, it becomes like a cycle. But you have to make that change and you have to be uncomfortable for a while to get there.
Wow.
So
yeah, that is very true. That is very true. At the beginning, anything that you try is very difficult,
right?
And it starts getting easier and easier.
For sure.
Do you find that doing all of these things that are like, obviously probably you wouldn't want to be doing all these things and having like barely any sleep and all that, but do you think you look back on it and do you think, oh man, that was all worth it? Or do you think, oh, maybe I wish I had more time for my friends, or maybe I wish, what is your personal take on that?
So I wouldn't say I regret really anything I did. I did my best to make time for my friends and family, because that's always going to come first.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say I regret anything about it. I think that, like, I definitely could have done stuff better, been more productive my sophomore and junior year, because at that point, like, I didn't do much in my positions that I was elected to. But I would say ultimately, if you can manage your schedule, then you can do it. And when I was doing it, I don't know how I made time, but I did.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't say I regret it. I was always hanging out with friends on the weekend when I wasn't doing debate. And a lot of my friends and my family time was done in my work. Like when, like I told you, all class officers, like all my class officers were some of my best friends. Yeah. Debate, I had a lot of friends in debate. Basketball, all the organizations I was involved in was spending time with my friends. And then summer, all I do is hang out with my friends. So kind of making up for it.
So you feel like you overall you try to find time for everything and fit your schedule?
Yeah, I mean, I tried to. I'm not going to say I was perfect at it, but
I
tried to.
Do you have any like timetable or like to do a list, or like stuff like that you try to
I like
follow?
to-do lists. I normally have like certain goals for the day that I try to follow, but also set goals monthly and try to do it yearly. But also, like, I don't like doing the kind of timetable thing because I just can't seem to follow it. Like,
that is
kind of
so
go about my day.
Yeah.
And I mean, I try to cut myself off at some point. If I'm spending 2 hours doing something that's not helping me at some point, then I try to stop. But I don't say I'm doing this from 1 to 2 and this from 2 to 3. Yeah. I just say I'm getting this done today, and I make sure.
And whenever
I get it
you get it done,
it's good to set realistic.
I think that's so much better because I was watching YouTube videos on how to be more productive and all this, and there's this one YouTuber that was talking about like timetables and like program your day that way you know exactly what you're doing. And let's say you get home and you don't know what you're doing, just look at the timetable. That's what you're supposed to do, right? But to me, like my day kind of like really like fluctuates. So it's like I really don't know what I'm gonna do next. So everything could be productive in a way or another, and it's good. Like it could be like what I want to do in a week, right? But instead of doing it tomorrow, I do it today, or whenever I can do it.
Right.
But then I find myself doing the things that I don't want to do. I push them to the end of the week, and then the things that I really want to do, I push them like earlier in the day or whatever.
Right.
So
and I mean the thing that for me with the whole timetable thing is, it works if you're perfectly consistent and nothing ever goes wrong. But that's just not realistic. Like I have stuff in my day that shows up almost every single day that's like, I didn't plan for this, but I got to take care of it. Or like you'll have people, like my mom will call me and she'll be like, I need help doing this. Like she didn't warn me like days
before.
She's just like, oh, I need your help. I was like, whatever. Like the other day I got a job, like just this guy, my friend texted me and he's like, this guy needs, he asked if I want to work for him and if I have any friends that want to work. And I was like, well, I'm not working right now. Sure. I could use some extra money. Like, yeah. And the guy was a nice guy too. So I was like, yeah, I'll work for him. Yeah. And so I wasn't expecting that, but I spent like from 6 that day to 5 o'clock in the afternoon digging, or no. Well, first we covered up trenches for sprinklers.
Wow.
And then we dug a fiber optic cable. We dug a trench and buried the fiber optic cable, then put on all the sprinklers together and put them on and made sure they were pointing the right direction. So this was not something I was expecting at all.
This is hard labor, man. That's real.
Like, I'll pay $15 an hour if you want to do this tomorrow. And I didn't have a plan for my day already. So even if I did, I probably would have done it. So like that's the kind of thing. It's like, if you have your day planned out with timetables, you can't plan for the unexpected. Whereas when you have like a list of things, and even if you want to prioritize that list and say, I'm going to do this first, that doesn't give you a set time you have to do it, but you got to knock that out early in the day.
I think that also works so much better for me, because like whenever I like know what I have to do, I try to get it done. Mm-hmm. But if it's like scheduled and something goes wrong, then your whole time is messed up and then you won't get anything done. So I think that for me, at least, that works a little bit better. So
well, this is definitely going to be a shift for me when I go to Rice, because I'm going to start doing that again and getting my days on track and whatever. Right now, it's like I do one productive thing in a day and I'm done. Like I've kind of slacked off from all that responsibility, and then I went to like nothing. Right. And so whether it's writing thank you cards for graduation gifts or doing something to help my parents, just do one productive thing in a day. And I know that the responsibility is going to pick up later, but I'll adjust when I need to.
Yeah, we'll get there when we get there, man. We'll cross that bridge.
One step at a time, man.
Bro, honestly, one step at a time, because I like see myself and then like I see all the things I have to do in each day, and it's like, bro, I have so many things to do. Right. And it's like I have to take it one step at a time, because if not, you get overwhelmed, dude, honestly.
For sure.
I think that's one of like a really important thing. Like just one step at a time and like get everything done. Just don't rush it. And you can't worry about the next thing until you've completed the first one. Right. So I think that's the most important thing at the end of the day.
No doubt.
What's another question that I had, bro? Let me think. I don't know. Well, I feel on the spot, bro.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I had this question. I don't know how comfortable you feel answering. But
answer. What do you got?
So I remember watching House of Cards, right? I don't know if you're great show. Great show.
It is really good.
It's a fantastic show. If you like, obviously it's fiction. It's not real, right?
Yeah. Sure.
But how many things do you think like are actually like conspiracy theories, and how many things are like, wow, dude, that's like really close to being real? Like, that could possibly happen.
What's real? What's fake?
I think there's people that will consistently agree with what they're told no matter what. And then there's people that go way too far and won't listen to anything they're told. And I think it's an in-between, but there's these really crazy conspiracy theorists over here. Mm-hmm. And then there's these people that are like, the government can't be wrong. Like, right. And then, especially with the internet can't be wrong. I feel like it's an in-between, because there's obviously like, there's stuff that's wrong in Washington. Like there's some serious issues there. Yeah. And I mean, some of those have come to light, like all the crazy scandals that are constantly happening.
Right.
But you also got to look at why those are happening.
Right. Yeah.
And what motivated them. And it's all political. It's all so screwed up. But, you know.
That was such a great answer.
Like, no, I like what you said.
It was a great
that was a president's answer, man. But
Yeah.
not in the sense like it's genuine.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. There's another question that is kind of controversial.
Is the Illuminati real? No, I'm just kidding.
But it's so Donald Trump was in this podcast. I don't remember what the podcast name is, like the Net podcast.
Trump podcast. What podcast was it?
Was it the Nelk Boys?
Yeah, the Nelk Boys. Thank you. I did not get to see the podcast. I think they deleted it from YouTube. It might still be up on Spotify or something. But yeah, they Donald Trump actually says in the podcast, like, watch, they're gonna take down this podcast because we're not living in a free country,
right?
And America like prides itself in being free, and I think overall we have a lot of freedoms that not a lot of people do, right?
Absolutely.
And we should obviously be grateful for those,
right?
But when it comes to private companies, right? That it's not really the government. It's like YouTube or Spotify or
like
whatever.
Twitter or like a lot of
those are private companies, so the government doesn't run them, right? But what do you think? Do they have too much power? Do they have too much freedom? Are they limiting freedom of speech? What do you think that?
So this is a tough issue for sure. I've talked about this before though. So basically, what you have going on is the Communications Act of something, and it regulates. It's a year. It regulates what these companies can and cannot do. And I think that part of why we have this in place is to provide immunity to these companies. Mm-hmm. So if let's say, if some terrible person goes on there and does hate speech or does something that incites violence, right?
Yeah.
Twitter's not going to be sued for that.
Yeah.
Right? The person who did it's going to be sued for that.
Yeah.
If that law was not in place, these companies could be sued for what they let happen on their platform.
Yeah.
So part of it's they have no accountability because of that. And part of it too, I think, is like, that's one of the things I'm concerned about. I think that is a danger to free speech, not in the sense that people will say it's a violation of the First Amendment. It's 100% not a violation of the First Amendment because they're private companies, like you said.
Yeah.
But there's still, if we want to have a marketplace of ideas, which this country was built on, we have to have platforms, especially in the internet age, for people to be able to express themselves freely. And I think that when you lose that, you can't have a free country. And in the internet age, I think we're just behind and lagging behind on that adjustment to what we're going to do with these social media platforms. But I think there is bipartisan, consensus that something needs to change. I think that people on the right will tell you that they're being censored. And I think that people on the left will tell you that they're being censored, but they won't agree on what they want to do about it. And I think what they need to do.
Oh, this guy speaks like a president, bro. It's crazy. I've been like listening. I'm like, yes.
What they need to do.
No, but it's totally valid. Yeah.
Is change the immunity laws.
Okay.
To where there's a thing in place. Firstly, they had to be nonpartisan. That's already a thing, and they just don't. I mean, some people say they don't follow it, and both sides are going to say they don't follow it no matter what. So you can't change that. Right. But there has to be something on there where if it's not inciting violence, it's not hate speech, you can't just take it down because you're uncomfortable with an opinion.
Yeah.
Fair.
And so I think that people are better off putting out bad ideas that people will respond to and say they're stupid than the company coming in and saying that's a bad idea. We don't want people hearing about that. I think that free speech mitigates the effects of bad free speech.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dang. That's a sentence. That's a
good answer.
That's a really good answer.
I think
that's a sentence, bro.
Ultimately, the side of freedom is a lot better than the side of safety. in most cases.
Wow.
That's a really that's actually very
wow. I never thought of it that way. But I think so too.
I like that.
But it's crazy. It's crazy because even YouTube now, like or Instagram or whatever, it's like there's this new feature. I don't know if it's in YouTube or Instagram. It's like hold potential like mean comments, right?
Yeah.
So they won't appear.
Right.
Like if somebody calls you're fat, right?
It's like
like Instagram will hold it. Like it will censor it, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I understand where it's coming from because you don't want like only hate on your platform because then you become like Twitter, right? Which is like extremely
it's understandable.
And Twitter is not bad, but it's just like extremes. Like it's either all good or it's all like really bad. Like it's like
there has to be consistency in there somewhere too.
Yeah. So you want it to be like you want it to be like a good platform. You don't want it to be hate. You know?
Right. You got to. There has to be regulation of speech, obviously.
Right. Obviously.
Yeah.
But there's the line that's drawn right now is not where it needs to be.
But it's kind of crazy because even Joe Rogan talks about it in his podcast. It's like, you know, if you were trying to take free speech away, how would you do it? Right. Like, let's say you're somebody who wants to take freedom of speech away.
Right.
Do you take it at once? No. Everybody will rebel. Right?
Exactly.
So you take it little by little.
Right.
Yeah.
Like a little bit until you completely take it away, and we control completely what you say, what you think, all of that.
Exactly.
So it's kind of insane. I don't know.
Food for thought.
Well, what's scarier to me than the whole free speech issue too is Google and Twitter and Facebook being able to prioritize what voters see to turn them out for elections for either party. I think that's a scary thing in the age of the internet, on these internet platforms being the deciders on who wins election and who loses them.
That's a good point.
Yeah, because I mean, where did you get your information?
It's
Google,
getting broadcasted to the masses.
You get your information on
social media, on Twitter, on Google,
almost everything is biased.
Right.
and literally all your so these platforms are literally controlling who's president, who's not. That's.
I don't think they are in the status quo totally. I think that,
but in a big percentage,
they have influence. There's influence,
and that's a problem. But it's the same thing as having, all these politicians being bought out by corporations and PACs and all these different dark money things that you can't regulate because of Citizens United versus the Federal Election Commission. Yeah. But that's a whole nother conversation.
I was gonna say, bro, that's
part two.
But that's real, bro. That's part of the issue too. There's just so much stuff, and I think that before you address the real, before we want to start talking about the minimum wage, and before we talk about, I don't know, whatever we want to talk about, whatever the policy issues are today, you have to have a system that is fair and is able to solve the problems in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's pretty bad because obviously social media is pretty new. It's brand new. Like all these trials with Facebook and all of that those are trials that have never happened before.
Right.
It's not like murder that's happened since the beginning of times, right?
Right.
This is pretty new. How can we punish you for nothing that's never happened? So you're creating laws as you go.
Exactly.
And so that's the hardest. I think that's the hardest part of social media.
It's tough, and it's definitely going to have to be an adjustment because it just can't stay like it is because the internet's so important and it's just growing in its importance.
Yeah, at this point it can't be stopped, honestly.
Well,
yeah. So
that's crazy.
I mean, yeah, bro. Wow.
That was nice.
This is one of the best podcasts
well
we've
articulated.
had.
I really like that
in such a long time. Honestly. Please, guys, if you're still watching, which you should be, you should be.
Don't click off.
Subscribe, because
come on.
I mean,
you get to see cool people like Trevor, man.
You get to see people like Trevor that are the future president of the United States.
You know what I'm saying? Well articulated.
But yeah, man, that's insane. It's crazy, and thank you so much for coming on. Honestly, thank you so much.
I'm glad to be here. I was excited to do this when Abraham told me about it.
Yeah, that's insane.
Absolutely.
Bro, hey, right, you're insane, man. But yeah, just to wrap it up, man. What do you think? I'm really big on this, right? I'm really big on every person should have a purpose, right? Mm-hmm. Every person has should have a big goal in mind. And if your goal is not big enough, I think you should get a bigger one, and then just try to attain it. And once you get it, go for a bigger one, and just keep going on goals and goals and goals.
Right.
What would you say your purpose, your goal is right now?
Well, I think it's definitely service. It's always been service. I was telling y'all earlier, what I wanted to really do was serve in the Air Force.
Yeah.
Or the Navy. I didn't really care where I served.
Just
I wanted to be in the military.
Yeah.
And I got the nomination, everything. And I wasn't able to because I had asthma. Like, wow. And I ran cross country and played basketball. Like, it's not bad.
Yeah.
But, so I wasn't able to. But I think it doesn't change the fact that I want to serve. And that can be done in so many ways that just go unrecognized. And I think that having an impact in other people's lives in politics and business and whatever you go into is what I want to do. Because ultimately, like, I don't know where I'm going to end up, but I know that I'm going to be impacting people's lives, and I want to do that in a positive way. And I think that just ultimately serving the people around me is my calling.
Yeah.
Wow. Well put.
I like that.
Beautiful.
I like that.
Put.
I think that's one of the best purposes you can have. Like, just serve to other people, because not a lot of people want to do it. I think, especially nowadays, it's like very like selfish
For
thinking.
sure.
So that's insane, man. But thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for watching. Thank you for coming today, bro.
Of course, man. I'm glad. I honestly, great episode to come back on.
Yeah, bro. Honestly,
What better
such a great
episode
episode. Thank you so much for bringing Trevor,
Absolutely.
Abraham,
Super awesome.
and go Rice Owls.
Go
Yeah.
Rice Owls. John Harvard.
Something
Owls.
But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next episode.
Subscribe.
Subscribe. Thank you.